Find a function f defined by a polynomial of degree 3 that satisfies the given conditions, zeros of -1, 2, and 4, and f of 1 equals 3. So here's a scenario where they actually gave us all the zeros. So recall that the degree of the polynomial, in this case is a degree of 3, will tell you how many zeros you're going to have. So because this is a third degree polynomial, it means we have 3 zeros. They've given us those 3 zeros, so we don't need to do synthetic division at all because we have them. We just need to put it in linear factored form. So to put it in linear factored form, it's basically putting the variables in. So if our 0 is -1, then we write it as x plus 1. A 0 of 2, you write it as x minus 2. And a 0 of 4, you write it as x minus 4. So once we put it in linear factor form, it's going to look like this. And you're probably wondering what's that a for? And actually, that's all we need to do is identify or find out what a is, because the coefficient of any polynomial is very important in terms of determining the end behavior of the graph, which we'll talk about in a later section. But for now, we need to find out what a is. To do that, you're going to use the ordered pair that they gave us. So they gave us an input of 1. Remember, the input is always your x value, and an output, which is your y value, of 3. So we're going to plug that into our linear factored form of equation. So we're going to remove all x's that you see and replace them with a 1 because we were given a 1 for x. F of x is the same thing as y, so we're going to remove f of x and replace it with a 3 because we were given a 3 for y. Once we do so, it's going to look like so. We're going to go ahead and do the math. Multiplying those three numbers is going to give us 6. 6 times a is 6a. Last step to solving for a is to divide by 6, and a equals 1/2. Putting it all together, this is our polynomial in linear factored form. If your homework in Pearson asks you to write it in standard form, it may take a little bit of busy work, but you can do it. All you have to do is just start multiplying the binomials. We'll start with 2 at a time and use FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. That's going to give me a trinomial. Next, we're going to multiply that trinomial with the binomial to give us a polynomial. And now we're going to multiply the 1/2 with each term in the polynomial and distribute that 1/2 to each term. Simplify, and we have our answer in standard form.